All right, so today we have Jaime Dobronos. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, it's Dobronos. It's fine.
Dobronos. See, I had to have a little Italian in me to say that correctly. So,
It's actually Ukrainian.
I know,
If you
but
say it Ukrainian, it's Dobronos.
oh, I won't try that one. But I can tell how you say it. You sound Italian. How about that? So for the world that's going to watch this, first and foremost, they're going to want to know a little bit about Jaime. So Jaime, where do you live at? Where are you from? Tell us about yourself today.
Okay, I grew up in a small town in Michigan called Albion. I was an athlete, played basketball, volleyball, and softball, went off to college, to Central Michigan University, got my degree in education. Then I moved to a little town called Clawson, Michigan, and had my own little house and started my teaching career. Met my husband probably 8 years into teaching, and we had our first child in 2009. And then in 2000, I think it was 10 or 11, we moved into Rochester Hills, where we live in our house now. So that's a little short version of our little story. If you want me to tell you a little bit about my career, I taught for 18 years. And after I had my son in 2009, as you know, things get extremely busy in your career and in your personal life. And I had a traveling husband, and so I was in charge of not only drop-offs in the morning and teaching all day, but coming home, getting dinners ready, going for extracurricular activities, doing some homework, the bedtime routine, all that stuff. And it really took a toll on my health. And so I got to a point in my teaching career, probably in my 15th year, I started, telling my husband that we really should think about me staying at home because, things were quite overwhelming with the way education was changing. The expectations were extremely high. I was up till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 5 o'clock and teaching and doing everything I said to you all over again every single day. And I felt like a robot with no life. And my health took a toll with all of that. And so my 18th year was my last year, and it was a really very, very difficult decision to leave. But it was the best decision for me. And so that first year home, I was able to focus on my health. My aunt had really pushed, she had really pushed VASO with me, the products, and telling me all about like how these products would help me with my anxiety and things like that. And I kind of denied her for a while. And then like a lot of people, when you get desperate, you're like, okay, I'll finally try it. And so I tried the CBD oil, and 20 minutes later, I looked at my husband and said, this is my new purpose in life. It's to share this with people. I was very passionate about my health and getting healthier. And so I never thought I would get involved in network marketing, Ricky, but network marketing found me and kind of gave me that next purpose in life to help other people.
That's the story for a lot of us, right? We never think that we're going to be in network marketing, and that someone that we love or respect shares it with us. But so unpack that a little bit. You were a teacher for how long?
18 years.
18 years. Wow.
18 years. Yes. And
So
just a very, very challenging career. I mean, with children, it used to be a career that was great with kids. You had summers off, that sort of thing. But a lot of times the summers are spent with professional development, and, literally you go all day long and there's no stopping. And, I think about the teachers today in this situation right now. And I really feel for them, because having to do virtual and teach live, that's what we were doing here, is pretty challenging. So I can't imagine doing that right now.
So how long have you been in VASO now?
I started VASO in March of 2019, so probably around a year and a half now.
So a year and a half.
And yeah, and I love it. I've had a lot, I have to tell you, one of the major things with me is I have battled a lot of fears in my life. And it seemed as after I had kids, the insecurities got a little more, I was fearful a little more. And I noticed that a lot in my network marketing, reaching out to people, doing, three-way calls or something like that, really, really scared me. And, just like you listening to your mentors, Eric Worre or Jim Rohn, actual person in VASO had shared with me a guy named Bob Heilig, and I started listening to his podcast, and he was really speaking to me about limited beliefs and talking yourself out of those limited beliefs and really changing those. He called them red light stories into green light stories, and getting past those fears. So a lot has come out of network marketing besides just, sharing products with others, but professional growth, just meeting new people. I mean, I'm friends with people that share VASO I've never met before, and they are the absolute best people and so supportive. And, when this trip came around, where I could, actually get close to actually winning it. I mean, I had people pulling for me left and right, and it really gave me the confidence to push through to the end. So it was really amazing.
Well, I mean, I think limited beliefs hold us back in many areas, but the story here is you were a teacher for many, 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 many years. And if we looked at all them years in perspective, your income probably didn't grow to what you were given in value, right?
Right. I mean, I would probably never make six figures in my life, and I have a master's degree plus 30 credits beyond that. And so, that can be quite frustrating when you are really sacrificing a lot in your life with your family and your time. So yeah, that's pretty difficult sometimes to
Mhm.
swallow, knowing that would never happen.
So you found the company through health challenges and trying the product, and then you fell in love with the product. What, for people that are watching this or going to watch it, what shifted for Jaime to want to do the business side? And that was part-time when you started, right?
Yeah. I did move quite slow in the beginning, just because I wanted to. I'm the type of person where I like to learn about everything. I like to know what I'm talking about. I think that's part of just being a teacher. But then I've become quite comfortable with everything. And as soon as I feel comfortable, then I become even more confident, I found. And it's funny because when I started recruiting, I think I recruited 31 people in 10 days total. Um, you know, I was just, I was just amazed by that. And, I forgot where I was going with this here.
Well, I mean, I want to find
Oh,
out, and before you get to the ending part, well, not the
yeah.
ending, the recent part, what happened along the way this year and a half? And I know that the products don't heal, but it definitely helped you in your health and give your body what it needed. What happened in your health that gave you more belief as well because of the technology in VASO? What
Well,
happened from the product side, and then along that process that got you wanting to build a business part-time with it as well?
okay, so I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, and
Hmm.
so I have been battling that since my first child. And after my aunt shared the CBD with me, I started trying all the other products, Eternal and Core, and I mean, I'm pretty much on every product. And I was going to the doctors every 6 months to get blood test results. And every time I would go, the doctor was like, "What are you doing?" And, I would share with him all the time, all these wonderful products that I have been using. And I just, I continue to get healthier and healthier, and I'm no longer on my medication. I didn't need it anymore. And so I manage it with the VASO products, which I feel, I would say 110% better than what I was feeling on my meds. And so with all of that, it gave me the confidence and belief to really reach out and share it to people, because I had my own story. And when you have your own powerful story to share with people and people trust you, they invest in what you're sharing. And from there, I just took off. I had, I know a lot of people, I have a lot of customers. And, I remember Daniel saying at convention, the person that has the most customers wins. And so I had a lot of customers. Like, I think I have 60 or 70 customers. And so, seeing the benefits in my check, seeing, just last week, I made more in a week than I did in 2 weeks teaching. So my husband was like, "Yes." And that felt really good. And it's funny because when I was doing this recruiting, I wasn't even thinking about the checks really, and I was thinking about, my customers that could benefit from being in this company and having this opportunity that we have. And so I think that's what propelled me forward, is just that the products work. And, I'm not going to share anything that I don't believe in with my friends. I'm not going to waste my time trying to make them buy products that don't work. That's for sure. And, they trust me. So, I truly 100% believe in the VASO products and sharing them with people. And so that's really helped me get that business mindset and share it with people.
How many medications were you on, Jaime?
I was only on one, which is levothyroxine. And, but I had like extreme brain fog from it. Memory recall was terrible. Which was really sad, because being a teacher, I would have students that would come back to me and I'm always trying to figure out their name. And it was never like that for me. I could always remember names. I was really good about that. And that's when, I tried the neuro, and the neuro was like, that's like a dream come true. Talking to you right now, and talking like when I did the Eric Worre video that you put out for me, I would have never imagined doing that ever. Because, and sometimes it happens to me, like I forget what I want to say or forget where I'm at, but it comes back to me. But to be able to talk to you like this and communicate in this way, it wasn't like that three years ago. And it sometimes would be embarrassing too. So, I'd be in a conference with parents and go, "Oh, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry." But it's not like that, and I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it definitely is like 1,000 times better than it was before.
That's awesome. So has your family noticed a difference since you?
Oh yeah. And I have too. I mean, honestly, I tell people in my story that, I used to have 25 bad days a month. And I hate to say that out loud, but, just fatigued and moody and unhappy. And it wasn't anything my family was doing. I have an amazing husband, amazing kids. It was just me. And I had to get myself healthy. And yes, it is 100,000 times better. And my kids are happy that I'm home. And it's just a different, I feel like I'm back to my old self, if that makes sense. I just feel like I'm Jaime again. I feel like after kids, I feel like I just lost myself with just my health, and everything just went downhill. So I'm really happy. I feel like I'm 30. I'm 44. I feel like I'm 30. It's awesome.
It's
So
no fair. You look 30. I look 42. So
no, you don't. No, you don't.
so you over the last year and a half, you probably took supplements before, right? And then you got on these because of the absorption of the liposomal technology. It's
Yeah.
it bypasses the stomach, the liver, and the kidneys, and it goes straight into the bloodstream. That's you probably took supplements before this as well, right?
Oh yeah. Actually, my doctor had me on a lot of isolate vitamins, and I remember my aunt saying, "Take a picture of all of your supplements and send them to me. I'm sending them to Tracy Gibbs." And she sent them all to him, and he's like, "What is she doing taking all those isolate vitamins? She needs to be on Core." And so that's when I started taking Core, and that really made a difference in my gut health completely. Which it also helped with skin problems, skin issues with acne, and it's I think that product is hands down just, I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing. And I've had low vitamin D levels for 10 years, and the last couple times I went into my doctor, he was like, "Your vitamin D levels are great." I'm going, "Really?" Because I would have to take these milky white cardboard tasting drops underneath my tongue, and I hated it. So it's awesome that I don't have to do that anymore.
It's definitely the best vitamin in the world. You have medical doctors that tell me all the time in meetings and one-on-one that there's no other technology out there in the health and wellness space like VASO, and that's why they can put their name behind it, because of the medical science behind the delivery technology, which is awesome. And that just increases belief. And then when you're on a team that helps you, you see what happens. And that's why we're on this live today with Jaime, because she stayed around the campfire. She qualified for a free cruise already. And then, my wife and I and many people on the team seen the greatness that Jaime, that you're seeing today, the smile, the personality. And then just recently, she went crazy and sponsored 31 people. And that just means she shared the company with people and they come on board. And that's what happened in Jaime's business. And she qualified for a free trip into Cabo for 4 days, which is awesome. And I don't,
Yay!
the sheer emotion in your video was worth my 5 years of building, because how you said, "I never won anything." And
I never have won anything, but it wasn't even, why I was so emotional was because I had broken the fear that I had. And I really felt like, that ceiling that's over your head and just like breaking through it. And it was almost like I felt like a superstar. I had done something that, I'd never done before. And, just reaching a goal, actually reaching the goal, because I'll tell you, in January, I told myself so many limited beliefs about myself that I was like, there's no way I'm going to get, 20 people on my left and 20 people on my right. And then, I got 14 people, which I was like, oh, that's great. But then, as it got closer, I kept thinking,
I kept pushing
hearing,
you.
yes. And I kept, you're amazing support. But I kept hearing a voice saying, you are much more than, what you're showing. And I just kept listening and, said a prayer. And I woke up that day, I think it was Monday, and I sat down at a table 3 days straight for 7 hours straight, calling and texting customers. And I'll tell you what, I mean, it's pretty amazing when you call over like 35, 36 people and you only get 3 no's. And the no's didn't bother me. I, usually no's like, oh, I get down, or what did I do wrong? And it's just a mindset. I remember Cassie Havel saying, it was like a light switch went off, and she says, I don't know what changed, but I just started doing it, and it just started going and happening. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I called her. When I called her, I was down in the dumps. I was almost embarrassed because I was just like, I felt really down. And you get like that though, right? You get like that. You have your ups, you have your downs. And it's so great that I had her at that moment. And I've never met her, to lift me up and support me. And I had, people not even in U Crew from different teams that I've met on Facebook that supported me as well. And it's just been so incredible to have people surround you like that and lift you up and give you encouragement. I was in a network marketing company right out of college, and I was on my own, and I had no idea what I was doing. And I was working way too hard, after teaching all day, lugging around stuff, going to people's houses. And it's so different because I have direction with this company. I know where the company is going. I have you and Francoise. I have, tons of other people in the upline that help. It's really just awesome. And it makes me very excited to be a part of this company at such a young stage.
Well, that's what's, two things that I want to talk about here. I owned a traditional business for 20 years. And when I was down and was having a rough time, there was no support system. I couldn't call my employees. I couldn't call my competition. They're not going to like, hey, yeah, let me come help you on the phone mentally get over this what I call valley, right? And that's what's so beautiful about this profession. There's so many people that are willing to help you because they're like-minded and they're not competition. It's a team effort. I truly do mean if someone was to ever experience this profession done the right way, then they would fall in love with it. Now, there's some bad experiences people have. Yeah, well, we've had bad experiences with relationships, with restaurants, with many other things. And then the other thing I would say is on top of that is how this profession really, a lot of people aren't willing to get uncomfortable, right? And that's, think about it. And a lot of people are saying no to network marketing, but they would say no to traditional business because they would have to get uncomfortable. They would have to do something that they're scared of. I was scared at 19. And when I joined this profession, I was scared. I never did it. That's a normal emotion, but a lot of people they're not ready to face, or they never will. That fear sits at the gate of your dreams, your freedom, your goals. And if you're not willing to walk into it and get uncomfortable, then you're going to stay uncomfortable in the everyday life you live. And for me, there's been many uncomfortable moments in this profession. Just like the other day in front of 100,000 people. I did not want to do that, but that's the part of growing, right? That's the part of us being able to grow ourselves so we can go out and impact more lives. And that's what I'm seeing in Jaime. Not only is she got past that part of being uncomfortable, but from doing that, she's inspired so many people that watched her video. Look at how the responses of you just shooting that video, that is showing you if you do the uncomfortable, then you'll be walking in your purpose, and people will gain something that is of value that can change their life. And when we get to what I believe heaven, we're going to be shown what I call the ripple effect. There's stuff that's happened that Jaime, that you have done, that you're going to see the ripple effect from what you did from getting out of your comfort zone. And that video was one of them, talking to 31 people. It's just a start, right? It's Jaime coming out of her shell. And through that, you qualified for a free trip that you really thought there's no way you could do. Now you're going to Cabo for free. How did it feel to know that you can ring in the New Year's for free on a 4-day trip?
Well, I was beyond excited. I went outside, and all my kids and my husband, they were outside putting up Christmas lights and stuff. And I went out and screamed on the porch, "I'm going to Cabo." So they were screaming and happy for me. And, my husband was extremely proud of me for reaching a goal. And he knows, my limited beliefs that I tell myself. And he was, really proud of me, pushing through those fears. And I know, Ricky, that, as you work up in this business, you're going to be faced with a lot of fears and a lot of limited beliefs as you go, and just working through those and, knocking out that ceiling above your head feels so good. So, and I love the fact that I can help people. I mean, that was part of my purpose in teaching, was to help kids. And never did I think I'd be helping adults one day, but helping adults and kids, because I've even helped some of my old students with VASO products. So that's been pretty fun, because I can stay in touch with them and watch them and see, how they're growing as well with VASO. It's just been amazing. The whole experience from start to where I am right now has been such an unbelievable growth in me that I can't thank you enough, really. I mean, I told you in the beginning that I was going to go at my pace. And but you kept with me. You kept encouraging me. You didn't give up on me. And one thing I want to share with you is when I was at convention in January, Mario Genovese, he introduced me to Daniel, and Mario told me, he said, Jamie, he goes, you know what he said? He said, that girl's going to go somewhere. And when I heard him say that, that was one thing that stuck with me. And you know how you don't want to let people down, especially people that you have a high respect for. I didn't want to let him down, and it was always in the back of my mind too. I haven't forgotten that he said that. And so to be where I am right now is amazing. I know I'm going to have to push through some fears to get moving to the next level as well.
Well, if I could grab you, I would grab you by your shoulders and tell you that you're designed with a seed of greatness, and God has a massive plan for your life. It's really us that gets in the way. And when I heard you talking about helping people, we're designed to help people, and a lot of people walk around aimlessly and helpless and unfulfilled because they haven't really found a way to give back what they have. And that giving back can come in many forms, but if you really want fulfillment in your life, it's right there. What Jamie said, you have to find a way to help other people. And the Bible says, if you give, you shall receive. And it's not just monetary that it's talking about. We're put here to serve and help people. And we truly do that. We find inner happiness that is defined from giving of ourselves. And that's what you're seeing now. And it's beautiful to watch. And, for me, what I know is that Jamie's just started her journey. Today, we were able to kind of put it in a time capsule to show you where it began. I really believe it wasn't a year and a half ago. That was started the process, but now is when she's really going to start walking into what she loves to do. You love this, right? After a year and a half.
Oh, I love it.
Confidently say, this is your real first network marketing company, but after a year and a half, you can comfortably say that this has been a really good decision for you and you've enjoyed it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. And, I even get to utilize my teaching skills as well with some of my own brand partners. And, the discussions we have, or the goals we set, or the things we do and talk together, it's pretty awesome. So it fulfills that teacher part of me as well. But I also love to see other people's success. And so if, I can help people on my team, like you've helped me and so many other people have helped me, then, I want to give back as well to that.
Well, success principles, once you learn them from a successful person, all you do is go out and teach them to another. So teachers do the best in this profession, because if they're taught by someone successful, they just go and duplicate that. And success is really, having the right mindset you heard from Jamie, making a decision, and then transferring what you've learned to not only action, but to other people. And that's why you're going to do so well. To work a couple of days and make a 2-week salary is good as well, and get a free cruise, free trip while you're learning, and also healthy. And you got a bunch of friends. People,
that's awesome.
if you look at it and truly as a whole, but see, the key is Jamie didn't quit after a week or 2 or 3 when it was hard. She learn the gift of reaching up to other people. And she did that with Cassie. She's done that many a times when she felt this certain way. Listen, isolation is your biggest enemy in success in anything. And when she got in that isolated down feeling, she had enough wisdom from her teaching to reach up to the teacher, right? And you did that with Cassie, and thank you to Cassie. But more impressive to me is that you knew to do that and you didn't quit. You know, there was many times over 20 years I wanted to quit, and I was alone in my construction company. So, you know, this whole video and Zoom has been beautiful. And we just want you to know that we love you. We're so proud of you and can't wait.
I feel that.
And we can't wait to walk the beaches of Cabo.
Woohoo!
And ring in 2021 in a free trip. So, Jaime, just wanted you to know that we're proud of you and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. And I'm also proud of you with your Eric Worre training. You and Francoise did amazing. So kudos to you as well. Yeah.
Thank God that's over with. All right. Love you, girl.
Okay. Love you too. Bye.